In this episode of An In-Depth Look, I'm going to do a podcasting microphone roundup. We'll have a low-budget mic, a medium-budget mic, and a high-end microphone, and I'll talk a little bit about the differences between them. Be sure if you're watching this episode on YouTube that you watch the HD version, because not only is the picture better, but the audio quality I think is in stereo and 128 kilobit bitrate, so you'll definitely hear the differences in the microphone. So if you've been interested in the best microphone for podcasting, this in-depth look is for you. The first thing to really consider is there's a lot of different microphones for different situations. If you want to shoot in HD, or you have a portable camera and you want to move around and you want to be able to really get the audio of your subject, you need something like this guy right here. The Rode mic fits in to the shoe on top of the camera and then connects into the microphone in jack with a cable. It's a shotgun mic, so whatever you point it at, the tip generally picks up the audio. It toggles on and off, and this particular one is not powered from the shoe. So if you have a microphone, you can put a light in the top, and it can power that. This one uses its own 9-volt battery. That's good because some of us don't have a hot shoe camera, and some of us do. It has a built-in little shock mount, so it can kind of bounce a little bit. And it's a pretty good microphone. It works really well. It works definitely a lot better than probably 99% of consumer cameras that have a built-in microphone. I have the Canon HV20. Great mic, great camera, bad mic. Bad mic. It picks up the Canon HV20 is a tape mic, so it picks up the motor of the tape, and it picks up all the room noise. Whereas with the shotgun, you get right what you're shooting at, and that's definitely very nice. So if you have a camera, you probably want to get a shotgun mic. I think I picked this one up for $40, $50 from Amazon. So that's a pretty good investment for good sound quality. It's the mic I use. Sorry, excuse the cough right in the microphone as I'm talking about microphones. It's the microphone I used to intro the show. So it kind of gives you an idea. The sound isn't as good as what you're hearing right now, but it's definitely way better than if I'd used the camera's built-in microphone. The next microphone I'd like to talk about is the Snowball Microphone from Blue. They're known for very stylish, very high-end microphones at a good price. The Blue Snowball, it hooks over USB into the computer, and as you can see if you're watching the video, it's very stylish looking. As my little cheap webcam freaks out there. It's a very good microphone. It's about $80, so it's kind of a mid-range mic, I would say, for podcasting. The benefit is if you've ever emailed me and you've ever said, Chris, I want to know about your hardware setup, the one thing I'll always really, really push is have USB sound device. Everything we capture comes in via a USB device. If it's through a big mic, if it's through the Snowball, if it's whatever, we always record via USB because you want to get the audio processing and the capturing outside your computer. The computer has a lot of machine noise, and you've probably heard it if you've taken a regular mic and you hooked it directly into your mic jack. You might hear some background static noise, especially once you bring it through a compressor and you encode it into an MP3 or OGG. You'll really hear it. USB gets rid of that because it's outside the machine. So for my big mics, I use an M-Audio Fast Track Pro, and you can plug in the microphones directly to the front, or you can plug in audio cables. They're dual jacks. They're the big Xlr Jacks, or they're just the standard big headphone jacks. That's really nice. I really like that device, and if you want to capture your audio, you should definitely do that. The Blue Snowball has the benefit of working with Mac OS X and Linux with no drivers at all. I mean, obviously there's some sort of built-in drivers to the operating system, but it just uses those USB audio devices. Under Windows, I'm not sure, I've never tried it, but I believe it's either does the same thing or it uses Windows Update on Vista to go out and get the correct driver. It's a great microphone. Now here's the thing: if you've ever heard me in using my other microphone, maybe like in the news update, the big mic that I have here in the camera shot that everybody hates, it doesn't sound as warm as that. I think it has a little bit of like an AM radio sound, which is also my complaint with Brian's microphone. If you've seen his mic that he has, this very classic looking, very very elegant looking mic. But to me, it sounds a little bit like AM radio. Now, with the Blue Snowball, you can fix some of that in post using a compressor and tweaking the EQ. You can make it sound a lot better. The other thing about the Snowball here is it has a toggle switch on the back. I don't know if it shows up on camera there, but it's got 3 settings, and the second setting is a pad. It pads down, so if I'm too loud, I can set it here, and now I'm talking quieter. Now I haven't changed my volume level, but the microphone's picking me up quieter. And then the third setting, I'll probably sound a little different. This is it's an Omni Mode. It's a room mic, so I could put it in the middle of the room and it would pick everything that's going on. What's really kind of slick for that, if you're looking for a cheap Skype setup where you want to have several people talking to somebody over Skype, you could use this as the microphone in for Skype, and it would pick up everybody in the room. So if you're doing a couple of guys or a couple of gals, and you all want to talk to one person on Skype, you use this as the mic in on Skype, and then you use the audio out and you capture from that. That way you don't have to try to figure out how to pipe your board into your computer. You just put this guy in the middle of the room and it should pick everybody up. So it's got a lot of nice features, and for $80 it's a pretty good mic. I like it a lot, and the fact that it's built-in USB is a plus to get rid of the machine noise. Now the downside of that, you can't bring it through a mixer. And I'll talk a little bit about that with the next few mics.
Alright, so now this mic. This is my old trusty standby mic that I've had for a year and a half, 2 years. Brian and I bought a set of these for the Linux Action Show. They're a great sounding mic. They go through a board and they do require phantom power. What the heck is phantom power? Well, it's essentially a really low amount of voltage that the mic needs to be powered because it's a condenser mic. The M-Audio Fast Track Pro, the USB device I mentioned that we bring our audio through, does support pushing out phantom power to a microphone. So that means that you can use that one M-Audio device and you can power this mic. It's a good sounding mic. In fact, this is my mid-range mic, okay? And I think without any tweaking, this might even sound better than my high-end mic. I'll talk about that more later, but I think just as a default mic for if you want a podcast that sounds really good, this MXL90 is definitely the way to go. I bought these from Amazon or Guitar Center, I don't remember. But here's the thing, $60. $60 includes the mic, a carrying case, and this shock mount that it's in. That's a great deal. With the shock mount alone and the carrying case, if you're going to other people's house to record, that's a great deal. Now, you still need a pop shield with this mic. This mic is very pop, see, PPP. And then if I bring this down, pop. This mic is very poppy. So that's something you do need a pop shield. This is just a cheapo cloth shield. We've had metal shield, and you do need a stand of some kind. They have little desk stands you can get for $20 that work really great, and they're weighted at the bottom. Great mic. The MXL 990. It does need either a mixer or the M-Audio, and I think it gives you great, rich sound. So and for $60, this is probably one of the best mics I think you can get for $60. It does pick up a little bit of room noise, much less than the Snowball. Even when the Snowball's in the direct omnidirect, even when the Snowball's out of Omni Mode and in direct mode, it still picks up more than this guy does. This guy picks up some room noise compared to my next mic, but it's not that bad. It's actually a pretty terrific mic, and you can hear there's a little bit of transfer of sound when I go like this. But the shock mount takes care of most of it. With the Snowball, if I hit the desk, my Snowball didn't come with a shock mount. They have a shock mount option. But with the Snowball, that sound is directly transferred to the mic. So if you're getting all worked up and you start flailing your arms about and you bump your mic, well, the shock mount will help with that. And I do. I get all emotional when I'm talking about things, and that's really nice to have. So for $60, carrying case, the mic, and the shock mount, that's a great deal. It's the MXL 990. Now for my baby, the Heil Pr 40. This microphone is my absolute favorite microphone of all time. And I got turned on to this microphone by Leo Laporte. It's the microphone he uses for all his podcasts and his national radio show. And I saw on the live stream that he had a Heil Pr 40. It is definitely the best mic. Now, it doesn't sound as good, I don't think, as the MXL 990 raw. But after I put the sucker through post-processing and I run it through a compressor, it sings. I mean, it's amazing. Plus, it has a great fire end only sound. And what that means is if I talk over here, the microphone is way less effective than if I bring my voice back over here. Now, what that's really great for is if you have a room of presenters, you're not having the cross pickup that you'll have with all the other mics I've talked about, which means it sounds significantly better. I mean, significantly better. And if you bring everybody in on their own channels, if you have that set up, this is huge. The other thing this does is it means that, if my dogs run by in the background, you don't hear them running along on the floor, which is very nice. Or if somebody walks by and drops something, you probably won't hear it. In fact, I have been podcasting. I have done Radio Revolver with my window open and my neighbor mowing the lawn, and the microphone does not pick it up. It picks up what's right here. So it's very, very, very nice. Now I have this cushion on here, and this cushion is it's a pop screen, because I had the big pop screen that I had on the other mic, but when I did the show, you couldn't see my face when I did the video. So I got one of those little pop screen that goes over the end of the microphone and makes it look like it has a big fuzzy thing at the tip. Now, here's the downside of this microphone. Base microphone, depending on where you get it, will be between $315 to $400. Now, you're like, geez, that's a lot of money for a microphone. And you're right, it is. But this microphone is what the pros use, like in radio, in voiceovers. This is the microphone. This Heil Pr 40 is known for its incredible quality. And so when you're talking those level mics, you're usually talking around $1,000 to get into it. So to have something in this price range is significant. Here's the downside. This spider shock mount that it's in, that's another $95 to $100. This pole that I have it on so I can move it around, that's another $100. So, you know, I mean, so you're talking, so here's, let's say $330, here's another $100, and here's another $100. I mean, that's not a cheap setup, but you will sound as good as possible. This mic does require specific technique. You'll notice I'm not moving my head around a lot if you're watching the video, and that's simply because it would sound horrible. The closer I get, the better it sounds, but there is a sweet spot with this microphone. It's probably about here. This is actually probably the sweet spot. I tend to talk a little closer, and you know, if you have maybe not the best voice like myself, this mic will help you get that voice through post and things like that, and it just makes it a nicer voice to listen to. In the videos, I don't really have the option of doing the post, so I generally don't use this microphone. But for voiceovers or for audio-only podcasts, the Heil Pr 40 has got to be the high-end, best microphone I can recommend. It does not require phantom power. It is a dynamic mic, and remember, the phantom power is just that trickle voltage that powers the microphone. Because it's dynamic, you can plug it directly in, and you don't need to power it. The M Audio that I talked about, the Fast Track Pro, can toggle phantom power on or off. So that's very handy if you want to use either mic. And then also if you have a board, most boards have at least one or two phantom-powered Xlr Jacks, that's the microphone jack, that can be powered or not powered. There's also, and I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture or a link for this, but somebody, and I forget who, has released, it's an Xlr Jack to USB adapter. It's basically you plug the microphone directly into USB, and it's just straight in. And I don't know if that's phantom-powered or not. It could be. It could be phantom-powered via USB power. But the Heil Pr 40 has got to be the Cadillac of podcasting mics. Maybe you know a better mic, and I'd love to hear about it because obviously I really like mics. The only set of microphones I haven't covered are our wireless ones that clip onto the lapel that we do for Beer is Tasty. The reason I'm not talking about those is because I know nothing about wireless microphones. I mean, I just bought those literally off eBay just so we could get something going with Beer is Tasty because we were trying different mic setups and nothing worked. If you watch early episodes of Beer is Tasty, we had like the Madonna mics, and those worked good for audio or for voice, but then you could hear us chew and swallow. So then we went to lapel mics, and we haven't gone back, but they're not very good, and they're mono, and it's I don't know, I'm not very happy with it. If Beer is Tasty was a moneymaker, I'd buy nicer mics, but since it's not a moneymaker, I'm not buying a nicer mic for it. Not yet, at least. It's not a moneymaker yet. So if you have better mic, if you have a different opinion on mics, or you have a better mic I could use, leave me a comment at youtube.com/JupiterBroadcasting in the comments section, and please rate and subscribe to our video channel at youtube.com/JupiterBroadcasting. Also, since we're talking about microphones, I should mention that we also are releasing audio versions. Surprise, I know a lot of you know that, but some of you are new and you don't know that. We do have audio versions of these shows at jupiterbroadcasting.com. Down on the right-hand side, about halfway down the page, along the right-hand side, there's a bunch of different feeds you can subscribe to get the show. And if you're in iTunes, just search for Jupiter Broadcasting, and you can subscribe to just the audio versions or just the video versions. Actually, we have download iPodable, portable, Arcosable, Roxboxable videos that you can listen to as well. So definitely check out jupiterbroadcasting.com, and if you'd like to help us pay the bills and keep these videos coming to you, go to GoDaddy.com, and when you check out at GoDaddy.com, you can save 10% off any order with the promo code Linux. That's Linux when you check out, and save 10% off any order. That helps GoDaddy out, and that helps us keep bringing these shows to you, and we really appreciate it. And if you use those codes, send me an email, chris@jupiterbroadcasting.com, or send me feedback there. If you use those codes, let me know, and that way I can tell people about your cool domain. And check me out on Twitter. Check out me on Twitter at twitter.com/Chris, LAS. And maybe you can shoot me feedback that way too. There's so many different ways you can get in touch with me. Why not? Let me know what you think. Let me know what microphones you use. Let me know what you think of this microphone versus the other microphones. I'd be curious. Oh, man. I'd be really curious to know what your opinions are of the different microphones I've tried. Which one did you like? I think it's, everybody has a different ear, so my opinion isn't always necessarily the right one. Anyways, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Keep it geeky, and I'd love to hear your feedback. This episode of An In-Depth Look was sponsored by GoDaddy.com. Starting at just $3.99 per month, Linux shared hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to GoDaddy Hosting Connection, the place to install over 30 free applications sure to help you get the most from your hosting plan and website. Plus, as a viewer of An In-Depth Look, enter the code Linux, that's Linux, when you check out, and save an additional 10% on any order. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.